Stephon Diggs is traded to the Houston Texans. This leaves the AFC East wide open. Episode 3 of Gang Green Gossip starts now.
Jets, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer, and Jets legend, Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Law.
Here we are. Wednesday, a couple weeks off, Joe. It was all on me. I was on vacation, wasn't feeling too hot 1 week, but, here we are. We're back, a little 2-week hiatus, but here we are. And, obviously, before we get into all this breaking news, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Is my mic working okay? Can you hear me? Or...
It sounds like it's working pretty well.
All right. Just got a new mic. I'm doing pretty well. How about you? How's your vacation?
I'm doing great. I had a great trip visiting some family down in Florida. But so we're gonna hop right into the big news coming out of today. Obviously, whenever the first week we started the show, there wasn't kind of previewing free agency. We had Antoine Staley of New York Daily News on the show, and then second week, kind of things were heating up a little, and here we are now, free agency. We're kind of in the second boat, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But, big news coming out of today. The Bills trade Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans for a second-round pick, and they also gave up a fifth and a sixth-round pick. So, initial reaction on the trade.
So obviously, I think the Texans have won this trade, big time. Although I think Diggs, has been steadily declining. He's not as productive in the later half of the season. Bills still lose a key part of their offense. And the Bills got fleeced. They only got a second-round pick, but the Texans get back a fifth and sixth. But yeah, I think this is great for the Jets. This, Allen practically has no weapons aside from maybe Curtis Samuel as a decent one. But I think this, puts the Bills out of the picture, and then this is the Jets' time to shine. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Ricky's saying 100% there. Any news right now is big news, but this is really big news. So, yeah, my initial reaction is obviously the Texans won this trade. I agree with everything you're saying about his skill level kind of declining as he's getting older, and that really happens with every player. Not for long is what the NFL stands for, National Football League, but what I really think what lost the Bills this trade is now what their wide receiver room is looking like. I think it's Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakur, and there's one more named Matt Collins.
Yeah, Matt Collins.
Matt Collins I think he's like a big body, but he is not a wide receiver 3. He's a wide receiver 5, 6, who should be competing to make a practice squad every single season. But that's what really hurts the Bills most. Those are their 3 guys, and right now we're in the second wave, but the Texans are what the Jets should have been last year, and for them to still go out and make more moves like that really, really helps this team. But in regards to the AFC East being, quote, wide open, I really think it's the Jets and the Dolphins right now. I think if the Dolphins can find a way to stay healthy, and Dolphins are notorious for being known for always being able to succeed against lower tier teams, and then they play a legit team, and they don't live up to the hype. I think it's between the Dolphins and the Jets, but I think this really a 2-game sweep. Obviously for the longest time the Jets couldn't hang with the Bills really just for a decade or two, really. Well, obviously you had the Rex days, which were the glory days, but
yeah,
nothing really after that. So the fact that we were able, I know it really started about 3 years ago, when they went out and they made that statement win with Sauce Gardner, obviously getting the game-winning deflection, and then obviously we won to open up the season last year, and then we had that horrific performance, I think week 8 it might have been. So if the Jets could sweep the Bills, that would mean a lot. And I definitely think there's a very large possibility the Jets do that. So yeah, I think it's right now it's really between the Jets and the Dolphins. But obviously the other big news is Hassan Reddick is really a New York Jet now. So
So
officially signed his deal 2 days ago, I believe it was. What